welcome to my new video. Christmas time is upon us, so I thought that in the Christmas spirit we could do another Patreon review. So I will jump into reviewing another 3 submissions done on my Discord server. And my Discord server is OraczArt, and we have a feedback channel. You can put your works over here, write like a short story about what you want to do, maybe what you struggle with, and then I will review your work. Yeah, so it's as simple as that. And I'm putting invitation to my Discord server in the description, so you can find it there. And I will start with Sebastian Miniatures, a very nice and very good painter. And Sebastian says,
"Oh, sneaky YouTube feedback. How fun. She's finished. But I'd love some feedback on my Valkyrie if you get around to it. This was a project where I was trying to just really focus on fundamentals and not do conversions or crazy colors or effects or anything."
we have Valkyrie. Those are the pictures. Let's start with the stuff that I like actually, because it's very, very important always. I like the color scheme for sure. Bronze and like this green teal works great, and also the skin color works very, very nicely. In general, I really enjoy this painting, but there is one issue, and it's because of her face is not blended, and in particular contour, like the bronzer or shade under her cheeks, and because of very strong eye makeup, the face is the first thing we look at when we look at a bust. So when I look at the face and I notice the eye makeup and the very strong unblended shadows, also very strong lip makeup and strong shading around her nose, it really makes it look like cell shading. So what I would do is to first of all try to blend it slightly, and because first thing I can see is like almost cell shaded face, and then everything else on the bust is nicely shaded and highlighted and blended out, and it looks like more like technical painting, whereas the face is kind of standing out because it's more graphical, more almost like cell shaded, right? So I would basically focus on tidying those 2 elements of the bust together, because of the most of the sculpt is painted in a usual blended way. I assume that the cell shading on her face wasn't very intentional. So I will try to blend out the shade. There's like very strong highlight over here and over here. I would blend it out as well. And then with the shadow around her nose, I like the shading on her nose, on the tip of the nose actually. I will start with part over here. I think that it's too strong. And then I will lighten the other side. Usually when we have very strong shadows in this part of the face, it really makes the face like kind of more indented in a way, a little bit heavier. And because we already have very heavy eyeshadow, I thought that maybe taking off of like a little bit of this heaviness around her nose could make a positive difference. And I will make shadow on her tip of the nose a little bit lighter as well, just to make it more delicate. Yeah, and see how much it tied the face with the rest of the painting. So yeah, like my main critique for this one would be to blend the face and make it a little bit less heavy. If she was meant to have like more angular shapes, angular features, is totally fine. I maybe made her a little bit more like soft, but in general just blending out the shadows, in particular those 2 highlights over here, because usually men have very strong muscle over here. I don't know, like not all men. Like when you think about Conan the Barbarian, he's painted with very strong muscle over here because he has a lot of muscle everywhere. So of course his mouth needs to be muscled as well, right? Usually like barbarians, manly men, I don't know, maybe bodybuilders, as long as they build their muscles also on the face. They usually have very strong, I don't know, jowls it's called, I'm not sure. By painting this kind of feature on a woman, it may make her look a little bit more masculine. If that was the intention, I would keep it there like in a more intense way as it was done. If it wasn't the intention, I would completely blend it out. You know, either way is fine. Just blending it out to make it work with the rest of the painting. And like there are like two small additions I would also make. Adding highlight on the wings, because the whole painting is very nicely shaded and highlighted. So right now the wings without the highlight, they look kinda like they are just base coated. Like just make like more general highlights all over the feathers, like this, like general feather all around. Like let's imagine that this is like a sculpted feather. I don't shade it like this. I prefer it to shade it like that, because usually we can, or you know, maybe like this if it's meant to be more shiny, something like that. And then on the back of the miniature, I know that this is the back. Who cares about backs? Usually no one. But I would just slightly highlight her hand over here. Just because everything on the miniature is highlighted and shaded in a nice way, the helm looks very, very flat and like unfinished in a way. Yeah, and that's that. But other than that, it's a very nicely painted miniature. I really like it. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Good job. Next one is Nizamsa. Sorry for mispronunciation.
I would appreciate any feedback on my wizard. I know OSL is off, but can't exactly pin down where to improve.
Okay, so let's go into the obligatory OSL feedback for this video. I feel like each of my feedbacks has at least one OSL. So we have a doggo. It's a very nice doggo. It looks very, very wise, very wow. We have OSL. And OSL is object source lighting. So there is like an object in the composition that is casting the light. Basically, when we are painting any kind of highlights, any kind of reflections on the miniature, we are like obligatory painting the source of light. When we have general lighting, like overall on this Mr. Doggo, we can observe it on the elements, basically like over here. Like we can assume that this is like the general lighting, general sunlight. Visible, like casted from the top over the guy. So sunlight is one source of light in this composition, and another source of light over here is the ball, I don't know, the dog ball, something, and it's casting the light in those directions. So we can make like this exercise. I like to ask myself which areas can see my source of lighting in the composition, and this way I just try to paint those areas that that can see the source of lighting. I'm just marking them in the green color, or I know, pink color if the source of light is pink. So I would go with marking the areas that may be green, because we have green source of light. And the most reflective element in this painting is the sword, because it's metallic, right? So the most the most first thing you can go for is painting green over here. Then I think that I would, the painting us, I know that eyes are very, very small, right? But they are watery and they are very reflective as well. So the stuff I really enjoy doing is painting the OSL in the eyes. So I would actually add it over here and maybe a little bit over here. And see, like, it's very small change, but it instantly creates the ambience and atmosphere. And I would also, I think, add a little bit of green on the staff. And then his hands as well. Maybe not as strong. And then, like, wherever is on the side, I would add it basically more, stronger. If you want very, very strong, very dramatic OSL, just paint the side of the miniature that is facing the object source lighting into the color of the light. It usually works the best. And then one more layer of this OSL, and like basically this OSL is like the nice OSL that may be present and visible during the day. But if you want to have like those OSL on crack, you can go for painting stronger shadows on the, like, it's called matrix. So there is, when you have two sources of lights, usually there is like this thin darker line in between them. It's called matrix, or at least this is I've heard that in one of my workshops. And I'm picking violet color for this shadow because violet is very neutral and it's good for painting, good and easy for painting shadows. So I usually go for violet. In this case I will go for violet as well because it's just easier for me personally. And you can paint like this just behind the source of light. You can paint like this shadow and it makes it more intense, and I will paint also stronger shadow from below, let's call it like that. This makes the OSL more intense because our light is contrasted by a shadow, right? And if you want to have very strong effects in non-metallic metal, in whatever you are painting, just remember to increase or optimize your contrasts, and contrasting your lighting with very strong shadow is one of the ways to go. See, it's not perfect because honestly, not a slight general light source could be helpful, but I don't want to overpaint everything over here. I just wanted to show how adding the darkness makes it like more, puts the OSL more on display. And also inside the bulb you can because it's meant to be shining, right? Let's put stronger highlight in the middle of the, it's not even highlight, it's just the middle of the light actually. So I would put it like, make it almost white or kinda yellowish maybe. Just see, looks more shiny. Yeah. So this is the way. The stuff I always tell to people that paint OSL is just contrast, because it's the most important stuff if you want your OSL to be very dramatic. And one more thing that is like minor. When you have OSL, it's a very strong effect, and it's the best way to make it very make it easy to understand for the viewer is to basically code the OSL with one very particular color and don't repeat the color anywhere else on the miniature. And in this case, our light is green and the gem on the sword is also green. I would make this gem either shiny to repeat the effect and to show that green means OSL means shine, or I would change the color of the gem like that, and this way green is OSL and everything else on this painting is everything else basically. Yeah. Next we have Ayla.
What do you think about this lady? How could I improve her?
The lady is this beautiful French woman, or I assume that it's French or English. This beautiful English woman, very nice. I like this example because this is a example about how to differentiate the tones all over your miniature. So I think that over here let's call it like the issue is let's blur it to see, like basically I like to sometimes blur the vision when I look at the miniature, so I basically just go like squinting and the vision goes like very blurry, and this way I am able to evaluate if the if the focus points are right, if the composition works. And over here, if I am correct, Gaussian blur, the best blur ever. When I blur, I have very nice red on her outfit, and I can see that this is a character. And then there are like different spots of bright green that goes around it, and it kinda, I think that throws off the composition because we have the same color of green over on her clothing and then on her shoes. Which are even lighter than the clothing, and then we have the same kind of green on the base. In particular, this spot over here, this spot is lighter than anything else on the painting, and it's very visually strong because it's warm green. Usually the shoes are, even though they are very stylish, they are not meant to be the key point of the composition, right? So we don't want the shoes to drag your attention from the center of the composition, which usually is over here. I would say that it's over here because we would like to kind of highlight the gesture of drinking the tea, right? So and right now the shoes are stealing the attention. We don't want that. First I would go with darkening the base and darkening the bottom of the composition even stronger than it is right now. Again, we are going with violet because violet is in a way it's neutral color because it's right between cold colors and warm colors. So in my opinion, it's neutral. So that's why I like to use it for my shadows. Also, in this case, it will blend nicely with the red because violet goes with red. It's in between blue and red, so it kind of blends and adds up nicely, and it will blend with the green as well. Sometimes it's hard to blend two contrasting colors together, for example red with blue. In theory it should go into violet, but usually it goes into muddy brown and it doesn't blend very nicely. So by going into the violet, it actually makes it easier to blend. I increase the focal point on the top. I think that the shadow is slightly too strong. See? You can do it with an airbrush if you don't want to overpaint everything. We already kinda moved the focal point over here. I don't know, I think that I would keep this cap white, or maybe paint it with, oh, you know what, I know. I would like to, because I like this cap, and the issue is, like, my issue with this composition is that issue. If I was to paint it, I would like to display this cap, or this, how it's called, teacup. But the issue is that it's very, very small, and the miniature is small. If I remember correctly, this is a 55mm scale, so it's small. The teacup is even smaller, right, in this miniature, because it's a miniature. So the issue over here is that it's a very cool detail, but you almost cannot see it. It's very hard to notice it. So the design you've painted is cool, but I think that I would change it. So I would personally have different approach. And then, having this repainted cup, I would add pure white highlights just to make it more intense. It doesn't stand out that much because we have white background right now. And I think that I would paint like the blue coloring over it, because this is a very warm composition, and it has a warm red, like it's colder red, but it's warm red still. It's a warm color. We have yellow, we have all kinds of warm colors, and there is blue only in her eyes, but very, very slight, or I think that it's kind of grayish blue. And then we could, so the blue, when put on top of all of the warm colors, would stand out more. So I would add actually a blue painting over the cup, the teacup. And then I would make the blue in her eyes stronger, and also you can make her irises a little bit bigger. In reality, I think that it would be more desaturated, so I will go for something like this. Bring more attention to the teacup. I would paint it blue as a only very cold color in the composition. You have blue also on the base, but it's kind of greenish, so it ties together with the rest, because everything is very, very yellowish, very, very warm, and I think that you did a very good job with creating the ambience over here. But then the teacup is such a cool element that I would bring back the attention to it by making it visually contrasted with the rest of the miniature, and then adding the, you know, blue into her eyes. Maybe you could, because she has makeup, right? I'm not sure how much you mind the blue makeup, but it's already kind of green, so you could like add more blue by adding like another shade over there. Something like that. So I would go for this. Hope you like it. But it's a very cool painting, and I enjoy it a lot. With the back, it's nicely painted, but I would just add the shadow like I did from the front. Yeah, and that's basically it. Very good painting, very, very high quality. Well done. If you want to get the feedback, you can join my Discord, and we have this feedback channel. And see, I have a few more works. Thankfully, thank you guys for submitting. I have a few more works to submit for the next video. But if you want to get your feedback, either for finished works or works in progress, just post it over here, and I'll try to be as helpful as possible. Yeah, thank you very much, and have a nice end of the year, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.